Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate those of you who checked out my last video about Blender, and if you're new here, welcome to my series of learning how to do stuff, I guess. I don't know, it's new for me, it's new for you, we'll just jump in and learn together. And for today's topic, I wanted to cover Photoshop and Adobe's new AI tools. A few weeks ago, some friends of mine were talking about the new beta program that they released and were sharing what they saw in their, I guess, preview trailer of the applications, of how impressive it was, and ooh, it's gonna change the market and put people out of the job. So I found myself curious as to how in-depth this really was, and I at least wanted to try it out for myself. And lo and behold, the next time I checked out my Adobe Creative Suite, I saw that I had access to the new beta tools. Now, I don't really trust program showcases. I think it's extremely tailored. They don't really show what an average person can accomplish with a program in a couple of hours. So we're gonna see how it works with an average person trying to learn how to use the tools. Now, I want to give a full disclosure. I'm very skeptical of AI tools, and I personally don't like AI art. I think there's something really uncanny and very unsettling about them. So I've played around with Midjourney and stuff, but I don't like how it looks. Now, that's not to say that it isn't fun to poke fun at, and I have laughed several times at the Harry Potter Balenciaga video. I mean, who hasn't? But it's definitely not my cup of tea. So I predict that these tools in Photoshop aren't going to be as impressive as a lot of people are making them out to be. I think whatever they're going to be capable of are going to turn out weird. But I have 3 tests that I want to do to see where the capabilities are at. 1, I want to check out the basic photo editing tools. This is basically what they've been advertising, changing a background, taking people in or out of a photo, extending backgrounds, changing what a person is wearing, all that good stuff. 2, I want to see how much it can alter digital art, and specifically taking out watermarks and signatures. I know this is probably a bad idea to put the idea out there that these tools will be capable of that, but this would be my main concern with tools like these. I've worked in printing for a few years, and it doesn't happen often. It's very rare for people to take watermarked images and try to get them printed, and we always had to check and say, hey, is this from like an Adobe stock thing? Did you pay the royalties on this? And a lot of people sort of get very testy and they're like, oh, I don't have to do that, So it would be very concerning if this just made it easier to steal people's work and to be able to print them however you see fit. So I want to see if these tools are capable of that. And then 3rd, this one's more just for fun, but I want to see if it's able to emulate my webcomic style and completely change backgrounds and things like that. Like I said before in my other video, I'm mostly a digital artist, and so digital illustrations, paintings, I want to see if it's actually capable of emulating like my style instead of going for the general digital illustration style. Not to hate on how anybody draws, but there's kind of a like realistic painting is the most typical, and that seems to be what a lot of these programs like Midjourney and stuff emulate. So I wanted to see if it can sort of copy other styles as well. So without further ado, here are the tests. Okay, so I'm going to start with this photo of my husband that I took some years ago. What I'm going to do is just remove the hammock from the background and the pole on the right side. So I'm just gonna select the pole here, and I guess I just type in whatever. Remove pole and fill in background. I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, it's taking a long time to think about it. Wow. But then it gives alternative edits. Oh, okay. That feels so weird. It's hard to tell if that's unnatural. Oh, it got rid of the tree as well. Okay, so I would like to keep the tree. Oh, but it moved it. That's so weird. I'd say that's pretty decent at getting rid of the pole. Let me move me back over. Alright, so let's try the hammock. Hey, not bad. It filled in the tree. I can see that there's a bit of discrepancy right there. Most people would never notice, especially with how blurry the photo is, but to anybody else you would be able to tell that that's been shopped. That one looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks a little more natural. And so far this isn't particularly impressive, right? Like, these are things that you could do on your phone, that magic spot tool that they advertise all the time. That's basically like what you could do with this. What would be interesting is if it can replace his jacket. We're just going to take the lasso tool and we are just going to go around the jacket, avoid the beard. And no, it's going to be too much trouble to deselect the hand. So I'm going to say replace jacket with a tan leather coat with sheep wool lining. I don't know. Do you think that might be a bit too detailed? Who knows? Oh yeah. It only gets worse from here. That does not look right. That is not right. Hold on. There's other options. Hold on. Let's look at the other options. What did it do to his beard? It like made it poof. It poofed the beard out. I did not ask you to do that. Okay, poofy beard. The jacket looks a little more normal, but you can tell around here, like, this is a tassel that's not going anywhere, and these lapels are a bit misshapen, sort of disappearing and then reappearing. And it gave him rings. Let's look at this last one. Yeah, it just doesn't, like, look quite right. Hey, at least it's a normal amount of fingers. You know, I don't see that very often with the AI generated stuff. I will say this though, I think it's kind of impressive how it does sort of get the lighting a bit right. I'd say that the shadows are still a bit too harsh. I don't know, it looks so strange. Like, you'd be able to tell that this isn't right. Let's see if it can get rid of his beard. Oh, no. That's not right. Oh, that like shortened his face. It doesn't look correct. And it didn't remove the beard, which is what I wanted. Bad. That's bad. Okay, now we're going to test the watermark thing. I usually don't sign or watermark my images, so I just put a quick watermark on one of my botanical prints, and we're gonna see, remove watermark. Ugh. Alright, let's see the damage. It tried really hard to copy the text, or at least how it sort of looks, but it couldn't like replace the words or anything, and it made it so much more pixelated. That's so strange. Yeah, so it got a little bit of the image down here and some of the flowers, but they're extremely pixelated as well. At the very least, it can't generate high quality, I guess. For some reason, it just comes out extremely pixelated. So I get the feeling that you would be able to tell if a watermark was removed from an image, especially if it was like kind of complicated with text and everything. So that does make me feel a lot better that this is not going to be capable of getting rid of like overprints and watermarks and signatures very easily. At least somebody will catch it. This is when I started playing around with the images, and I'm gonna warn you all beforehand, the rest of this is not going to go well. What the hell is that? What is that? Let's see. There's a painting that I did not too long ago. I'll select here. Select there. Add more flowers. Not really a fan. It looks very... I guess it's trying to copy the flowers I did on that side. It looks a little better. Maybe, probably this one like fits the most, but it still doesn't like look right. It's sort of trying to emulate the texture of the canvas. But yeah, it's still a little too smooth in comparison to the other ones. Like, you don't see the texture there. Okay, so here's a panel from one of my comics. I would be interested to see if I could add anything to this and it would look right. I don't know. Select here. Add another shadow creature. Let's see if that works. So I hadn't brought this up yet, but a lot of the processing would take about a minute or so, but when I tried doing any of the artwork, it would take 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, and I would sit there and have to wait until something would be processed. I wasn't sure if it had something to do with trying to match artwork, but it still did a terrible job. I wonder if it's because the file is too big. Hold on, give me a second. Let's cancel. Oh! Oh, I guess that's right. Oh no. Oh no. None of those are good. None of those are good. Yeesh. Alright, let's delete that. Yes. I hate this. I hate that. Nope. What is it even doing? I wasn't sure if I was just putting in the prompt fill incorrectly, but every image after this of it trying to emulate the style of my comic was just a severe disappointment. I guess in a way that was a good thing, because at the very least it couldn't copy anything that was really stylized. So safe to say I didn't have much hope for it in helping me with my personal work. So I think it's fair to say that AI tools can cover the basics of stuff, but that's where it stops. I don't think they're all what they're hyped up to be. It's kind of concerning on a grander scale how much they're being hyped up. I think people are expecting them to be way more impressive than they are, but trying to replace things in photos, you know, not just filling in a background, but actually trying to change elements in photographs or designs or trying to add things. I don't think it's anywhere near the level that it needs to be of like a high fidelity, good quality image. I would be more concerned for the industry as a whole, for corporations to be fine with taking lower quality work like that, than really it being capable of replacing anybody's job. I don't think it's going to be replacing jobs on a massive scale, not even maybe like a few years from now. I don't know. I can't really see it getting any better than this. I would say it's especially concerning for freelance work. It's already such a hassle, and it gets very complicated trying to get clients to understand that some design work, some photo editing, it doesn't magically take 10 seconds, and it can be difficult to get paid what you're worth, to get paid for the time that you put into something, because people already think it's much easier to do than it is. And I think this will set too high of an expectation of what these programs are capable of, and so people will think that doing even more complicated changes will be easier, when in fact to even get a believable image, to get anything that looks decent, to get an AI tool to make it look believable will take longer than it would if you just did it manually, I guess. That feels weird to say when we're already talking about digital programs, but I don't know what would be the counter term to using the AI software. I don't know if anybody's come up with a term for that yet. I would say that it was heartening to see that it couldn't change out the watermark very well. Maybe for more simpler images, it wouldn't have such a harder time, but over text and everything, at least it's something that we don't have to worry about. It can't emulate written text to be readable yet. Well, thank God. Of course, my recording stopped in the middle of my outro, so now I have to record it the next day. It's a learning process, guys. I'm gonna get a handle on it, I swear. All in all, to assuage anyone's fears about the future of AI and AI tools in regards to the job market, I think that there is going to be a backlash if corporations resort to using these tools and take in like lower quality work. I think it's going to be noticeable. It's not going to be the magic solution that they hope it will be in regards to making more profit. And if you're a huge proponent of AI, I would say that you should really temper your expectations of what these tools would be able to do for everyone's sake. And we really just need to take all of this with a grain of salt. that's it for the video. I hope you all learned something, and I think next time, I might check out the AI tools for some of the other programs. I think there might be some for Premiere Pro, and I saw that they have this new content manager called Adobe Express, so I might make a video about that if it's worth checking out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.